Building 7, Echo. 4 men, 1 woman, 13 seconds. Derek Cole's hand reached for her belt, his breath hot against her neck. Fresh meat doesn't say no here, sweetheart. Maya Raines didn't flinch, didn't blink. Her voice came out steady as steel. Then I won't say anything at all. She started counting. 13, 12, 11. 4 combat veterans, 4 predators who had done this before. 4 men about to discover what happens when wolves corner something far more dangerous than prey. They thought they had trapped her. They were wrong. Before we continue, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel and follow Maya's story to the very end. And drop a comment below telling me which city you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. Camp Ironside, Nevada, March 2025. Maya Raines stepped off the transport truck with her duffel bag slung across one shoulder. The guard at the gate didn't salute, didn't even look up from his clipboard. Name? Raines, Navy, 2-week transit. He scribbled something, waved her through. Barracks are east. Don't cause trouble. She didn't respond, just walked. 22 years old, long dark brown hair falling loose past her shoulders. Olive green V-neck shirt clinging tight to her athletic frame. Military camouflage pants tucked into boots that made no sound on gravel. No unit patch. No deployment record visible. Just another short-timer, passing through a facility where questions didn't get asked and paperwork got lost. That's what they saw. That's what she needed them to see. The mess hall fell quiet when she walked in. Not silent, just quiet. The kind of quiet that happens when 40 men notice something new in their territory. Something that doesn't belong. Maya grabbed a tray, kept her eyes forward, found an empty table in the corner. She felt them watching, measuring, calculating. Good, she thought. Let them look. Hey, a shadow fell across her tray. She looked up. The man standing over her was big. 6'2", maybe 220. Crew cut, jaw like a cinder block. His name tape read, Cole. You're the Navy Transit, right? That's right. Derek Cole, infantry. Been here 6 months. He smiled. The kind of smile that pretended to be friendly, but carried something darker underneath. Gets lonely out here. Thought I'd introduce myself. Maya Raines. Pretty name for a pretty girl. She went back to eating. Thanks. He didn't leave. Instead, he sat down across from her, uninvited. 2 other men appeared behind him, one lean and wiry, with restless eyes, one thick-necked, with scarred knuckles. These are my guys, Marcus, Jason. Marcus nodded once. Jason just stared. We run things around here, Derek continued. Unofficial, of course, but if you need anything, protection, supplies, company, you come to us. Maya set down her fork, looked at him directly for the first time. I don't need protection. Derek's smile widened. Everyone needs protection here, sweetheart. Even Navy girls who think they're tough. I'm not tough. Her voice stayed flat. I'm just not interested. Something flickered in Derek's eyes. Something cold. We'll see about that. He stood, knocked his knuckle twice on the table, and walked away with his men following like shadows. Maya watched them go, memorized their gaits, their builds, their weaknesses. 3, she counted. There's always a 4th. She found the 4th that night. Victor Hayes. Quiet, watchful, always positioned near exits. The one who kept lookout while the others did their work. Maya had seen men like him before. The ones who didn't participate directly, but enabled everything. The ones who watched and said nothing. Sometimes they were the most dangerous of all. She lay on her bunk, eyes closed, listening to the facility breathe around her. 47 men in this barracks. 3 exits. 2 cameras, both conveniently malfunctioning, according to the incident reports she'd memorized before arrival. 7 women have been transferred out of Camp Ironside in the past 18 months, she thought. All requested reassignment within weeks of arriving. None filed formal complaints. None were believed. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Everything in position?" She typed back. "Confirmed. Making contact." The response came immediately. "Remember, evidence first, then extraction. Don't engage unless necessary." Maya almost smiled. Define necessary. 3 days passed. Derek didn't approach her again. Didn't have to. His presence followed her everywhere. A nod across the motor pool, a wave during PT. His men positioned at every turn, creating a map of surveillance that made it clear. She was being watched, being evaluated, being hunted. On the 4th morning, a young woman appeared at the barracks entrance. Early 20s, red-rimmed eyes, hands that wouldn't stop shaking. "Excuse me," her voice cracked. "Are you Rains? The Navy Transit?" Maya set down her book. "That's me." "I'm Specialist Torres. Monica Torres. I heard you turned down Derek Cole." "Word travels fast." Monica's laugh was bitter. "Everything travels fast here, except justice." She glanced over her shoulder, checking. Always checking. "Can we talk? Somewhere private?" They walked to the empty supply room behind the commissary. Monica's words came out in fragments, broken sentences, tears she kept wiping away before they could fall. "It happened 6 weeks ago. Building 7 Echo, the warehouse." Maya's jaw tightened. "Tell me." There were 3 of them. Derek, Marcus, and someone watching the door. They said if I told anyone, they'd make sure I never got another assignment. That no one would believe me anyway because I was just a supply clerk, and they were decorated soldiers. "Did you report it?" Monica's face crumbled. "I tried. The base commander said there wasn't enough evidence. Said it was my word against theirs. Said maybe I misunderstood the situation." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Misunderstood. Like I don't know what happened to my own body." Maya reached out, took Monica's trembling hands in hers. "I believe you." Monica looked up, shock breaking through the pain. "You do?" Every word. Maya's grip tightened. "And I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" I don't know. They're going to try the same thing with me. Soon. And when they do, I need you to be ready." "Ready for what?" Maya's eyes went cold. "To finally be believed." The opportunity came 2 days later. Inventory rotation. Building 7, Echo. Maya's name appeared on the duty roster. Alone. A clerical error, supposedly. The kind of error that happened when someone had access to administrative systems and a plan that required isolation. She knew before she walked in. Knew the moment she saw the duty roster, saw her name listed without a partner. Saw the convenient gap in the schedule that gave them 90 minutes of unmonitored access. Building 7, Echo. The warehouse at the eastern edge of the facility, tucked between the equipment depot and a forgotten motor pool where rusted trucks went to die. The kind of place where paperwork got lost, where questions didn't get asked, where 4 men could close a door and believe the world stopped paying attention. Maya pushed through the entrance at 1400 hours. The door closed behind her with a metallic clang. And there they were. Derek Cole, leaning against a stack of crates, arms crossed, smiling. Marcus Webb, circling left, rolling his shoulders like a fighter warming up. Jason Tate, standing frozen near the shelving units, eyes darting, nervous. And Victor Hayes, blocking the door, keys already in his hand. Well, well. Derek pushed off the crates, started walking toward her. Took you long enough, sweetheart. We were starting to think you'd gotten lost. Maya didn't move. I don't get lost. No? He stopped 3 feet away, close enough to touch. Then you know exactly why you're here. I know why you think I'm here. Something flickered across his face. Annoyance? Confusion? Marcus laughed from the left. She's got a mouth on her, Derek. I like that. They all have mouths, Derek replied, never taking his eyes off Maya, until they learn when to use them. He stepped closer, 1 foot away now. Here's how this works. You're a short-timer. No unit patch, no backup. No one's going to come looking for 2 weeks. And by then, you'll have learned how things operate at Ironside. And how's that? We take care of each other here. The men who've been forgotten by the system. The women who need guidance. His hand reached for her shoulder. You can fight it. Others have. But in the end, they all understand. Some lessons have to be taught the hard way. Maya's voice came out quiet, almost gentle. You're right. Derek blinked. What? Some lessons do have to be taught the hard way. She looked directly into his eyes. But you've made one mistake. Yeah? What's that? You assumed I'm the student. Derek's hand clamped down on her wrist. She let him. Grab her, he ordered. Marcus moved from the left. Jason hesitated, then started forward. Last chance, Maya said. Her voice hadn't changed, still calm, still measured. Walk away. All of you. Right now. Derek laughed. Or what? You'll scream? Go ahead, sweetheart. No one can hear you. I know. Then what are you going to do? Maya smiled. The first real smile she'd shown since arriving at Camp Ironside. Count. Count? 13, 12, 11. Derek's grip tightened. What the hell are you? 10, 9, 8. Marcus lunged. What happened next took exactly 13 seconds. Second 13. Maya's wrist rotated inside Derek's grip. A simple movement, textbook Navy SEAL close-quarters combat. His elbow hyperextended before his brain registered pain. Second 12. She drove her palm into his solar plexus. Not hard enough to kill, just hard enough to collapse his diaphragm and send him crashing to the concrete, gasping for air that wouldn't come. That's 1. Second 11. Marcus's fist whistled toward her head. She was already gone. Ducked under, stepped inside his guard, redirected his momentum with a hip throw that used his own 220 pounds against him. Second 10. His skull connected with the metal shelving. A dull crack. His eyes rolled back. That's 2. Second 9. Jason froze. His hands came up, palms out. Wait! Wait! I wasn't going to... You were watching. Maya's voice cut through his stammering. You knew what was going to happen. You've watched before. I didn't... I never... Monica Torres, 6 weeks ago. You were at the door. The color drained from his face. How do you... Kneel. What? Kneel. Now. Hands behind your head. He dropped so fast, his knees cracked against concrete. Second 5. Victor scrambled for the door, keys jangling, hands shaking too badly to find the lock. Maya didn't chase him. Didn't need to. Victor! He froze, every muscle, like a rabbit caught in headlights. Turn around. He turned, tears already streaming down his face. I never touched anyone. I swear to God, I never... You held the door, every time. You watched. You enabled. You protected them. Please, kneel. He knelt. Second one. Maya stood in the center of Building 7 Echo. 4 men on the ground. 1 unconscious. 1 still gasping for breath. 2 kneeling with their hands behind their heads, crying. She hadn't broken a sweat. Here's what happens next, she said, pulling out her phone. You're going to tell me everything. Every woman, every date, every location. And you're going to say it clearly, because this is being recorded. Derek looked up from the floor, finally catching his breath. You're dead. You hear me? When word gets out, word already got out. Maya crouched down to his level. Did you really think I was here by accident? A female Navy transit, no backup, no unit patch, assigned to a facility with 7 unexplained transfer requests in 18 months? She shook her head. I was never the prey, Derek. I'm the hunter. And you walked right into my trap. His face went white. Who are you? She leaned closer. Close enough for him to see the trident insignia she'd kept hidden under her collar. I'm the woman who's going to make sure you never do this to anyone again. The door to Building 7 Echo burst open. Captain James Morrison strode in, flanked by 4 MPs. Rains, status. 4 secured, confessions recorded, ready for extraction. Morrison surveyed the scene. Derek on the floor, Marcus unconscious, Jason and Victor kneeling, broken. Damn, he muttered. When they told me they were sending a SEAL, I expected more damage. Maya stood. Damage was never the objective, sir. Evidence was. And you got it? She held up her phone. Everything. Names, dates, locations. Enough to prosecute all 4, plus anyone who helped cover it up. Morrison's jaw tightened. The base commander? Complicit. Monica Torres filed a report 6 weeks ago. He buried it. Son of a bitch. That's one word for it. The MPs moved in, dragging Derek to his feet. He struggled, face twisted with rage. This is bullshit! You set me up! This whole thing was a trap! Maya stepped close. So close he could smell the violence she'd chosen not to unleash. You're right, it was a trap, but I didn't set it. She tilted her head. You did. Every time you convinced yourself no one would believe them. Every time you assumed silence meant consent. Every time you blocked that door and told yourself it wasn't your fault. She stepped back. You built your own cage, Derek. I just locked the door. They loaded the 4 men into transport vehicles. Maya watched them go. Watched Derek's face pressed against the window, still screaming threats that no one could hear. Morrison appeared at her shoulder. Operation Clean Sweep. You volunteered for this? Yes, sir. Why? You could be downrange right now. Tier 1 operations. Instead, you're hunting predators at forgotten bases in the middle of nowhere. Maya's eyes stayed on the departing vehicles. Because 17 years ago, my mother was stationed at a base just like this one. 3 men cornered her in a supply room. She reported it. They called her a liar, said she was seeking attention, said maybe she misunderstood the situation. Morrison went quiet. She didn't misunderstand anything. She just wasn't believed. And those men? They got promoted. transferred to new commands, did it again to other women who also weren't believed. What happened to her? Maya's jaw tightened. She survived. Raised me alone. Taught me that the world doesn't change because you ask nicely. It changes because someone forces it to. And that someone is you? She finally looked at him. That someone is whoever refuses to look away. Today, it's me. Tomorrow, it'll be someone else. And the day after that, someone else. Until men like Derek Cole become extinct. Morrison nodded slowly. You know this won't be easy. The system protects its own. I know. You could face retaliation, career damage, powerful enemies. I know. And you're doing it anyway? Maya smiled. That same cold smile she'd shown Derek right before everything changed. The day I'm afraid of consequences is the day I don't deserve this trident. That night, Maya sat alone in her barracks. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number, again. 4 targets secured. 7 victims identified for testimony. Base commander under investigation. Well done. She typed back. What's next? Fort Harrison, Montana. Similar pattern. Similar predators. When? 72 hours. Maya set down the phone, closed her eyes. She thought about Monica Torres, about the moment she'd told her, I believe you, and watched hope ignite in eyes that had forgotten what it looked like. She thought about her mother, 17 years of carrying a weight that should never have been hers alone. She thought about Derek Cole's face when he realized he'd been hunted, when he understood, finally, that the rules had changed. This is why, she told herself. This is why I survived Hell Week, why I earned the trident, why I'm here. Not for glory, not for medals, not for the chance to prove women could do what men did. For this. For the women who weren't believed. For the silent ones. For every person who'd ever been told their pain didn't matter because the paperwork said otherwise. Maya opened her eyes. 72 hours until Fort Harrison. She'd be ready. Across the base, in a holding cell, Derek Cole sat in darkness. He wasn't screaming anymore, wasn't making threats. He was remembering. The way she'd looked at him, the way her voice had never wavered, the way she'd said, I'm not the student, with absolute certainty. Who the hell is she? The question burned in his mind, but underneath it, something worse was taking root. Fear. Because for the first time in his life, Derek Cole understood what it felt like to be prey. And somewhere out there, more hunters were coming. 10 months earlier, Maya Raines was drowning. Not metaphorically, actually drowning. Hell Week, Day 3. Surf torture at 0300. The Pacific Ocean didn't care about her reasons. Didn't care about the promise she'd made at 14 years old. Didn't care that she was one of only 4 women left in Bud/S Class 387. The Pacific took what it wanted, and right now, it wanted her lungs. Water crashed over her head for the 6th time in 4 minutes, cold so brutal it felt like knives scraping bone. Her arms locked with the candidates on either side, their bodies a human chain getting pummeled by waves that came without mercy and without end. Quit now and it stops, an instructor screamed from somewhere above the roar. Ring the bell and you can sleep. Nobody thinks less of you. Maya's teeth chattered so hard she thought they might crack. Her muscles had stopped shaking 20 minutes ago. That was bad. That meant hypothermia was setting in. Mom survived worse, she told herself. Mom survived worse, and she didn't have training. She didn't have a choice. Another wave. Salt water flooding her throat. Burning. The candidate to her left, a guy named Reeves, suddenly broke the chain. He stood up, stumbled toward the beach, toward the bell, toward warmth. That's another one, the instructor shouted. Who's next? Who wants to be warm? Maya didn't move. Couldn't move. Her body had become something separate from her will. A machine running on nothing but memory and rage. You don't get to quit. You don't get to be warm. Not until you become someone who can protect them. The next wave hit. She swallowed half the Pacific. And she stayed. Rains, on your feet! Maya's eyes snapped open. For a moment, she didn't know where she was. The barracks, Camp Ironside, present day. Her phone was still in her hand, the message still glowing on the screen. Fort Harrison, Montana, 72 hours. She checked the time. 0500. She'd slept maybe 3 hours. Enough. The voice that had woken her belonged to Captain Morrison. He stood in the doorway, face grim. We have a problem. Maya was on her feet before he finished the sentence. Derek talked? Worse. He lawyered up. Military defense attorney arrived an hour ago. They're claiming entrapment. Entrapment? They're saying you seduced them, led them to that warehouse, manufactured the entire situation to destroy their careers. Maya's blood went cold, then hot. I have their confessions on video. Obtained under duress, according to the attorney. You physically assaulted 4 soldiers. They're arguing any statements made were coerced. They tried to assault me. Your word against theirs. Morrison's jaw tightened. Sound familiar? It did. It sounded exactly like what happened to Monica Torres, to her mother, to every woman who'd ever tried to fight back and been told she was the problem. What about the other victims? Monica's testimony? Monica Torres withdrew her statement this morning. Maya felt the floor shift beneath her. What? Someone got to her, threatened her family. Her parents live in El Paso. Her sister just started college in Austin. Morrison's voice dropped. She's terrified, Rains, and I can't protect her. Not from here. Maya grabbed her jacket. Where is she? Medical wing, but she was already moving. Monica sat on a cot in the corner of the medical bay. Knees pulled to her chest, eyes staring at nothing. She flinched when Maya entered. Please, her voice was barely a whisper. Please just go away. Maya pulled a chair close, sat down, didn't touch her. Tell me what happened. Nothing happened. Monica, I said nothing happened. The words exploded out of her, tears streaming now. I made it up, okay? I made the whole thing up because I was angry, because Derek rejected me, because I wanted attention. Maya didn't react, just waited. Monica's facade cracked. They know where my sister lives. They know her class schedule. They sent me pictures of her walking to her dorm. Who? I don't know. A phone call. Blocked number. They said if I testified, she'd disappear. They said they've done it before and no one ever found the bodies. Maya's hands curled into fists. When? Last night, around midnight. Monica looked up, desperation breaking through the fear. I can't lose her. She's only 19. She doesn't know anything about this. She's just a kid trying to get through college, and I brought this down on her because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. You didn't bring anything down on anyone. They did. It doesn't matter who did it. It matters who pays for it, and it's not going to be my sister. Maya leaned forward. Listen to me. What they're doing right now, the threats, the intimidation, it proves they're guilty. Innocent men don't threaten witnesses' families. Innocent men don't lose either. Monica's laugh was bitter, broken. You think this is the first time they've done this? There were others before me. Women who tried to speak up. Women who disappeared or transferred or just stopped talking one day. Derek's been doing this for years. He has protection. Protection from who? Monica hesitated. Something flickered in her eyes. Fear, yes, but something else underneath. Monica, protection from who? I can't. If you know something, I can't. She was shaking now. Please, just let it go. Let them win. Because if you keep pushing, people are going to get hurt. People who have nothing to do with any of this. Maya stood, looked down at the woman who'd been brave enough to trust her 3 days ago. The woman who'd told her story in that supply room with tears streaming down her face. I'm not going to let them win. Then you're going to get someone killed. Monica met her eyes. Maybe yourself, maybe someone you love, but someone's going to pay for your crusade, and it won't be Derek Cole. Maya turned toward the door, stopped. My mother was stationed at Fort Campbell in 2007. 3 men cornered her in a supply room. She reported it. They called her a liar, said she was seeking attention, said maybe she misunderstood the situation. Monica went still. One of those men was a colonel. He had protection too, friends in high places, a career that mattered more than one woman's trauma. Maya's voice hardened. He's in prison now, has been for 8 years, because my mother refused to let them win, even when they threatened her, even when they tried to destroy her, even when everyone told her to just let it go. She looked back. I'm not asking you to testify, Monica. I'm asking you to trust me. Can you do that? Monica didn't answer, but something in her eyes shifted. It wasn't hope. Not yet. But it wasn't surrender either. Maya found Morrison in the command center, phone pressed to his ear. His face was gray. Understood. Yes, sir. I'll inform her. He hung up, didn't speak for a long moment. They're pulling the plug. Maya's stomach dropped. On the investigation? On Operation Clean Sweep, effective immediately. You're being reassigned to San Diego. Administrative duty, pending review. Pending review of what? Your conduct, the assault allegations, the entrapment claims. Morrison couldn't meet her eyes. It came from the top, Rains, way above my pay grade. Someone wants this buried. Someone like who? I don't know, but whoever they are, they have enough juice to make a Pentagon-sanctioned operation disappear overnight. He finally looked at her. I'm sorry. I believed in this mission. I believed in you. But I can't fight the entire chain of command. Maya's mind raced. Derek's lawyer. Monica's threats. The operation getting shut down, all within 12 hours of her capturing 4 predators. This wasn't panic. This was coordination. Who authorized Clean Sweep originally? Admiral Patricia Chen, Naval Special Warfare Command. Is she the one who shut it down? Morrison hesitated. No. The order came from the Army side. General Marcus Webb. Maya froze. Webb? 3-star general, Pentagon liaison. Why? Marcus Webb. One of the men I took down in Building 7 Echo. Same last name. Morrison's face went pale. You think? I don't think anything, but I'm going to find out. She headed for the door. Buy me 48 hours. How? Lose some paperwork. Delay my transfer orders. I don't care how. Just give me 2 days. Rains, if you're wrong about this. I'm not wrong. She turned back. Derek Cole has been doing this for years. He has protection. Monica said so herself. What if that protection isn't just a good lawyer? What if it's family? Morrison stared at her. She could see the calculation happening behind his eyes. The risk assessment. The career implications. Then he nodded. 48 hours, not a minute more. That's all I need. Maya's phone rang as she crossed the compound. Unknown number. She answered. Petty Officer Rains. A woman's voice. Calm. Professional. My name is Elena Vance. I was your instructor's instructor, and I need you to listen very carefully. Maya stopped walking. How did you get this number? The same way I know about Building 7 Echo. The same way I know about General Webb. The same way I know you have 48 hours before they bury you so deep you'll never see daylight again. Who are you? Someone who's been where you are. 32 years ago, I was the first woman to complete SEAL qualification. 6 months later, I was cornered in a room just like you were. The man who did it was the son of a 4-star general. Maya's breath caught. What happened? I fought back. Won. And then spent the next 3 years watching my career get dismantled, piece by piece. They couldn't break me physically, so they broke me administratively. Death by paperwork. Death by lost orders and denied promotions, and whisper campaigns that made me radioactive. How did you survive? I didn't. Not the way I wanted to. I left active duty, went private sector, spent 20 years building a network of people who believed the same thing I did, that the system only changes when someone forces it to. And now? Now I'm offering you a choice. You can follow orders, report to San Diego, let them bury Clean Sweep and everyone it was supposed to protect. Or you can come to me, learn what I learned, and finish what we both started. Maya's hand tightened on the phone. Where? There's a bar in Reno, the Rusty Anchor. Be there tomorrow at 2100. Come alone. Tell no one. How do I know this isn't a trap? Elena Vance laughed. It was a hard sound. A survivor's sound. You don't. But ask yourself something. If they wanted you dead, would they need to trap you? Or would they just lose your helicopter over the desert and call it an accident? The line went dead. Maya stared at the phone for a long moment. Then she started walking again. She had 48 hours. Time to find out who was really pulling the strings. 17 years earlier, Maya Rains was 12 years old. She came home from school to find her mother sitting on the kitchen floor, uniform torn, blood on her collar, eyes staring at something 1,000 yards away. Mom? No response. Mom! Maya dropped her backpack, ran to her, grabbed her shoulders. Her mother flinched like she'd been struck. Her eyes focused slowly, taking in her daughter's face, her panic, her fear. Baby. Her voice was wrong, hollow. Baby, I'm okay. You're bleeding. It's nothing. Mom, what happened? Her mother's face crumpled. 28 years of military discipline, 28 years of being strong. All of it collapsed in the span of a single breath. They said no one would believe me. Maya didn't understand. Not then. She was 12 years old, and her mother was invincible, and the world was a place where bad things happened to other people. Who said that? Believe what? I'm sorry, baby. Her mother pulled her close, held her so tight it hurt. I'm so sorry. Mom, you're scaring me. I know. She pulled back, wiped her eyes, forced herself to breathe. I need you to go to your room, okay? I need you to go to your room and stay there until I come get you. But, please, Maya, please, just this once. Don't argue with me. Maya went. She sat on her bed for 4 hours, listening to her mother cry through the walls, listening to phone calls that ended in silence, listening to a world she didn't understand but would never forget. The next morning, her mother filed a report. The next week, she was transferred. The next month, Maya learned what the word rape meant. And the next year, she made a promise. Standing at her grandfather's grave, a man she'd never met, a SEAL who died before she was born. "I'm going to be stronger than them," she told the headstone. "I'm going to make sure they can never do this to anyone again." She was 13 years old. She meant every word. Present day. The Rusty Anchor was exactly what its name suggested, a dive bar at the edge of Reno, where the neon signs flickered and the parking lot held more motorcycles than cars. Maya arrived at 20055, parked across the street. Watched. At 2100 exactly, a woman emerged from the shadows beside the entrance. Late 50s, silver hair cut short, built like a weapon that had never stopped being sharpened. Elena Vance. She walked to Maya's car, knocked once on the window. Maya rolled it down. "You came alone?" "You said to." "I also said tell no one, but you told Morrison you needed 48 hours. Maya's jaw tightened. "How do you know that?" "Because I know Morrison. Served with him 20 years ago. He's a good man, honest, which is exactly why he'll get destroyed if this goes wrong." Elena opened the passenger door, got in. "Drive." "Where?" "Anywhere but here. I'll explain on the way." Maya pulled out of the lot, drove east toward the desert. Elena didn't speak for 10 minutes. Just watched the road, the mirrors, checking, always checking. Finally, "General Marcus Webb has a son." "I know. Derek Cole's lawyer mentioned the family connection." "It's not a connection. It's a cover story. Derek Cole isn't just protected by General Webb. He's his illegitimate son." Maya nearly drove off the road. "What?" "Webb had an affair in 1998 with an enlisted woman named Sarah Cole. Got her pregnant. Paid her off to keep quiet. Raised Derek from a distance. Made sure he had every advantage, every opportunity, every protection." "Why keep it secret?" "Because Webb was already married. His wife is Senator Patricia Webb, chairwoman of the Armed Services Committee. If it came out that he'd been hiding an illegitimate child for 25 years, both their careers would be over." The pieces clicked into place. So Derek could do whatever he wanted, because exposing him would expose his father. Exactly. Every transfer, every buried complaint, every victim who disappeared. It all leads back to General Webb protecting his dirty secret. Elena's voice hardened. "And if you think Building 7 Echo was bad, you have no idea what you've stumbled into." "What do you mean?" "Derek Cole isn't the only predator Webb has protected. There's a network. Officers, enlisted, contractors. Men who share the same appetites and cover for each other. They call themselves the Brotherhood." Maya felt sick. "How many?" "We've identified 47 members across 6 installations. That's just the ones we know about." "We?" Elena smiled grimly. "Did you think you were the only one fighting this war? I've been building a network for 20 years. Women who survived, women who fought back, women who refused to let the system silence them." "Why haven't you taken them down?" "Because every time we get close, someone shuts us down. Just like they're doing to you right now." Elena turned to face her. "But you have something we've never had. You have Derek Cole on video, confessing. And you have a direct line to his father." "I have a recording that his lawyer says was obtained under duress." "His lawyer doesn't know about the other recordings." Maya's foot eased off the gas. "What other recordings?" Elena pulled out a flash drive. "Monica Torres wasn't the only victim who came to us. 6 women from Camp Ironside, 14 from other installations. All with stories, all with evidence, all waiting for someone brave enough to go public. Why didn't they go public themselves? Because they're scared, because they have families, because the system taught them that speaking up only brings more pain. Elena held up the drive. But if someone else speaks first, if someone with a platform and credibility breaks the story open, they'll follow. I know they will. Maya looked at the drive, then at Elena. You want me to be that someone. I want you to be what I couldn't be, what they wouldn't let me be. Elena's eyes burned with 30 years of rage compressed into a single moment. I want you to finish this. Maya took the drive, felt its weight, so small, so heavy. What do I do with it? There's a journalist, Rebecca Martinez, Washington Post. She's been investigating military sexual assault for 3 years. Never publishes because she can never get enough evidence. Elena paused. Now she'll have enough. And what happens to me? That depends on how far you're willing to go. Elena leaned back. Because once you hand that drive to Martinez, there's no going back. Webb will come for you with everything he has. Your career, your reputation, your freedom. Maybe your life. Maya thought about Monica, about her mother, about every woman who'd ever been told her pain didn't matter because the paperwork said otherwise. Then she thought about the promise she'd made at 13 years old, standing at her grandfather's grave. Tell me about Martinez. Elena smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. Dawn broke over the Nevada desert. Maya sat in her car outside a motel in Sparks. Flash drive in her pocket, phone in her hand. She had 32 hours left before her transfer to San Diego became official. 32 hours before the system buried her. She dialed. Rains. Morrison's voice was tired, worried. Where the hell are you? Following a lead. I need you to do something for me. I'm already out on a limb here. I need you to find everything you can on General Marcus Webb. Personal finances, travel records, family connections, anything that doesn't look right. Silence. Then, why Webb? Because he's Derek Cole's father, and because he's the one who shut down Clean Sweep. Morrison exhaled, a long, heavy sound. You sure about this? I'm sure. If you're wrong, we're both finished. I'm not wrong. Maya looked at the sunrise, blood red and gold. And even if I am, I'd rather go down fighting than live on my knees. Morrison was quiet for a moment. Then, I'll see what I can find. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. He paused. Rains, be careful. You're poking at something a lot bigger than one predator in a warehouse. And big things fight back. I know. Do you? Maya thought about Elena Vance. 32 years fighting the same war. 32 years losing the same battles. I'm starting to. She hung up, started the car. 32 hours. Time to burn it all down. 28 hours. Maya stood outside a coffee shop in downtown Washington, D.C., watching the entrance. Her flight from Reno had landed 2 hours ago. She hadn't slept. Couldn't sleep. Not with the flash drive burning a hole in her pocket. A woman approached, mid-40s, sharp eyes, hair pulled back tight. Notebook clutched against her chest like a shield. Rebecca Martinez. Petty Officer Rains? Ms. Martinez. You're younger than I expected. You're shorter than I expected. Martinez almost smiled. Almost. Elena said you were direct. Let's walk. They moved through the morning crowd. Two women who looked like they could be discussing weather or weekend plans. No one gave them a second glance. You have evidence? Maya pulled out the flash drive, kept it palmed. 20 victims, 6 installations, dates, names, locations, video confessions from 4 perpetrators, and a direct connection to a 3-star general. Martinez's stride faltered. Which general? Marcus Webb. Pentagon liaison Marcus Webb? Married to Senator Patricia Webb? The same. Martinez stopped walking. Her face went through several expressions. Shock, calculation, fear, then something harder. Determination. If you're lying to me, I'm not. If this evidence is fabricated, it's not. If you're setting me up to destroy my career and my paper's reputation. Maya turned to face her. 17 years ago, my mother was raped by 3 soldiers at Fort Campbell. She reported it. They called her a liar. One of those soldiers was promoted 6 times before someone finally believed her. I didn't fly 3,000 miles to play games. I came to finish what she started. Martinez held her gaze for a long moment, reading her, measuring her. Okay. She held out her hand. Give me the drive. Maya didn't move. There's a condition. I don't do conditions. You'll do this one. The women on that drive, they're terrified. Some of them have families being threatened. Some of them have already tried to speak up and been destroyed for it. I need your word that you'll protect their identities until they're ready to come forward. I can't guarantee, then I can't give you the drive. Martinez's jaw tightened. You understand what you're asking? A story this big, with sources this sensitive, my editors will want names, verification, on-the-record confirmation. And they'll get it, when the women are ready, when they have protection. Maya held up the drive. But if you publish their names before they're safe, you won't just destroy them. You'll destroy any chance of the others coming forward. How many others? Elena estimates at least 50 more victims across the network, maybe 100. This drive is just the beginning. Martinez exhaled, looked at the drive, looked at Maya. Okay, anonymous sources until they choose otherwise. But I need at least 3 willing to go on record eventually. Without that, the story dies. I'll get you 3. How? By showing them someone finally believes them. Maya handed over the drive. Martinez took it like it might explode. How long do I have? Before what? Before Webb figures out what's happening and tries to kill the story. Maya checked her phone. 27 hours, maybe less. That's not enough time to verify. Then work fast. Martinez pocketed the drive. You know they're going to come after you. Once this breaks, you'll be the most hated woman in the Pentagon. I know. They'll destroy your career, maybe press charges, maybe worse. I know. And you're doing it anyway? Maya thought about her mother, about Monica, about Elena Vance fighting alone for 30 years. Some things matter more than careers. Martinez nodded slowly. I'll be in touch. She walked away, disappeared into the crowd. Maya stood alone on the sidewalk. 27 hours. The countdown had begun. Her phone rang 20 minutes later. Morrison. Where are you? DC. Following the lead. We'll follow it faster. Webb knows you're AWOL. He's issued a warrant for your arrest. Maya's blood chilled. On what grounds? Desertion, theft of classified materials, assault on 4 enlisted soldiers. Morrison's voice dropped. They're not playing games anymore, Rains. Whatever you poked, it's poking back. How long before they find me? MPS are already at Reagan National. They've got your photo at every transit hub in the city. You need to disappear. I can't. Not yet. There's something I have to do first. What could possibly be more important than not getting arrested? Maya closed her eyes. Keeping a promise. Reigns, 24 hours, Morrison. That's all I need. After that, I'll turn myself in. You'll be court-martialed. Probably. You'll go to Leavenworth. Maybe. And you're okay with that? Maya thought about the flash drive, about Martinez, about the story that would break everything wide open. I'm okay with the truth coming out, whatever that costs. Morrison was quiet for a long moment. Then, there's a safe house, Georgetown. Elena set it up years ago for situations like this. 1847 Prospect Street. Blue door. Knock 3 times. Wait. Knock twice more. How do you know about Elena's network? Because I was her first recruit. 30 years ago, before you were born. His voice cracked. I've been waiting my whole career for someone brave enough to finish this. Don't let me down. The line went dead. Maya started walking. Georgetown. Blue door. 24 hours. Time to disappear. The safe house was exactly what she expected. Small, anonymous, the kind of place you'd walk past 1,000 times without noticing. She knocked 3 times, waited, twice more. The door opened. Monica Torres stood on the other side. Maya's heart stopped. What are you doing here? Elena called me. Monica's voice was different, stronger. She said you needed witnesses willing to go on record. I'm in. Monica, they threatened your sister. And I'm done letting threats control my life. Monica stepped back, let Maya in. My sister agreed. We talked about it. She said she'd rather have a target on her back than watch me spend the rest of my life being afraid. That's not... It is. It's exactly that. Monica's eyes welled up. You believed me, when no one else would. When the whole system told me I was lying. You looked at me and said, every word. Do you know what that meant to me? Maya didn't answer. Couldn't. It meant I wasn't crazy. Wasn't making things up. Wasn't the problem. Monica wiped her eyes. So yeah, I'm going on record. I'm telling my story to that journalist. And when the world hears what Derek Cole did, what his father covered up, what the Brotherhood has been doing for decades, they're going to have to listen. Maya pulled her into a hug, held tight. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just finish it. 2 hours later, the safe house had 4 women in it. Monica Torres, Sarah Chen, a former supply clerk from Fort Harrison, Dana Williams, a Marine sergeant who'd been assaulted at Camp Pendleton, and Lisa Monroe, a Navy lieutenant who'd tried to report her commanding officer 3 years ago and been discharged for conduct unbecoming. 4 women, 4 stories, 4 reasons to stay silent, and all of them had chosen to speak. Martinez arrived at sundown. She listened. She recorded. She asked questions that cut to the bone. You understand what happens when this publishes? Dana nodded. We become targets. You'll be attacked, discredited. They'll dig into your pasts, your families, your mental health records. They'll find every mistake you've ever made and use it to destroy your credibility. Lisa leaned forward. And if we stay quiet? Nothing changes. Then we don't stay quiet. Martinez looked at each of them, one by one, reading the fear behind the determination, the trauma behind the resolve. Okay, she closed her notebook. I have enough to run the story. My editor's reviewing the evidence now. If everything checks out, we publish in 18 hours. That fast? Webb already knows something's coming. He's making calls, pulling strings. If we don't move first, He'll bury this before it ever sees daylight. Martinez stood. Get some rest. Tomorrow everything changes. She left. The four women sat in silence. Finally, Monica spoke. What happens to us? After? Maya didn't lie. I don't know. But whatever happens, you won't face it alone. Not anymore. It wasn't enough. She knew it wasn't enough. But it was all she had. Midnight. Maya couldn't sleep. Sat by the window, watched the empty street. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. Petty Officer Rains? A man's voice. Deep, controlled. My name is Marcus Webb. I believe we need to talk. Every muscle in her body went rigid. How did you get this number? The same way I know you're in Georgetown. The same way I know you gave evidence to Rebecca Martinez. The same way I know there are 4 women in that house with you right now. Maya's blood ran cold. If you touch any of them, please. I'm not a monster. His laugh was soft, almost paternal. I'm a father trying to protect his son. Your son tried to rape me. My son made a mistake. Young men do that. It doesn't mean his entire life should be destroyed. He's done it before, multiple times. You've been covering for him for years. Silence. Then, you don't understand how the world works, petty officer. There are rules, systems, balances of power that have existed long before you were born and will exist long after you're gone. One woman with a flash drive isn't going to change that. Maybe not, but 40 women might. 100 women might. And the truth always finds a way out, eventually. The truth. Webb's voice hardened. You want truth? Here's truth. If that story publishes, I will destroy you. Not just your career, your life, your mother's life, everyone you've ever cared about. I have resources you can't imagine, and connections you've never dreamed of. And I will use every single one of them to make sure you regret this decision for the rest of your very short existence. Maya's hand shook. Just slightly. Are you still there, petty officer? I'm here. Good. Then listen carefully. There's still time to make this go away. Return the evidence. Convince those women to stay quiet. Walk away. And I will personally ensure your career not only survives, but thrives. First female SEAL team leader, promotions, medals, everything you've ever wanted. Maya closed her eyes, thought about her mother crying on the kitchen floor, thought about Monica shaking in that supply room, thought about Elena fighting alone for 30 years. No. I'm sorry? No, I'm not walking away. I'm not staying quiet. And I'm not afraid of you. You should be. Maybe. But fear doesn't change what's right. She gripped the phone tighter. You've spent your entire career protecting predators, covering up crimes, destroying women who dared to speak up. And you did it because you thought no one could stop you, that you were untouchable. I am untouchable. You were. Past tense. Maya looked out the window, saw headlights approaching. Because in 17 hours, Rebecca Martinez is going to publish a story that will end you, your career, your son, your precious network of monsters, all of it. Finished. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Actually, I do. I'm dealing with a coward who hides behind his rank and his wife's position while women suffer in silence. I'm dealing with a man who had every opportunity to do the right thing and chose power instead. You'll regret this. Maybe. But I'd rather live with regret than die with silence. She hung up. Her hands were shaking badly now, but her voice had been steady. That was all that mattered. The headlights stopped outside the safe house. Maya tensed, checked the window. 3 black SUVs, government plates. Everyone up! She was already moving. "We've got company!" Monica stumbled from the bedroom, eyes wide. "MPs?" Worse. Webb's people. Dana appeared in the hallway. "Back door?" "Too late. They'll have it covered." Lisa grabbed her phone. "I'll call 911. "And tell them what? Federal agents are surrounding a house with no legal occupants? They'll hand us right to Webb." The front door rattled. Someone testing the lock. Maya made a decision. "Bathroom, now, all of you." "What are you?" "I'll buy you time. When you hear sirens, run. Get to Martinez. Don't stop for anything." "Maya, you can't." "I can. I will." She pushed Monica toward the hall. "Those stories have to get out. Whatever happens to me, make sure they get out." Monica grabbed her arm, tears streaming. "I can't leave you." "You can. You have to." Maya's voice cracked. "This is bigger than me. It always was. Now go." The front door exploded inward. Maya turned to face it. 4 men in tactical gear, weapons raised. "On the ground, now!" She didn't move. "You're making a mistake." "I said on the ground." "Those women in the back? They're witnesses. Protected witnesses in a federal investigation. You lay one hand on them, and every news outlet in the country will have the footage by morning." The lead agent hesitated. "What footage?" Maya smiled, pulled her phone from her pocket. Screen facing him. Recording. Live streaming. Directly to Martinez's secured server. That footage. The agent's face went pale. He grabbed his radio. "Command, we have a situation. Target has live feed running. Requesting guidance." Static. Then Webb's voice, tight with rage. "Secure the device." "Sir, she's already streaming." "I don't care. Secure it." The agent lunged. Maya threw the phone, high, through the broken doorway, into the street. It landed on the sidewalk. Screen still glowing, still streaming, still recording everything. "Get that phone!" 2 agents ran outside, but it was too late. A car had already stopped. A woman already picked up the device, already driven away. Elena Vance. Maya laughed, actually laughed. "Looking for this?" The agent hit her, hard. She went down, tasted blood, but she was still smiling, because the footage was out. The evidence was safe. And in 16 hours, Rebecca Martinez was going to burn Webb's empire to the ground. "Cuff her." They wrenched her arms back. Metal bit into her wrists. "Maya Raines, you're under arrest for desertion, theft of classified materials, and conspiracy against the United States government." "Add assault," she said, spitting blood. "I'm about to break your nose." He leaned close. "You think this is funny?" "I think you just committed federal witness intimidation on a live stream that's being watched by every major news outlet in the country." She met his eyes. "So yeah, I think it's hilarious." His radio crackled. "Command, we have a problem. Stream went viral. News vans incoming. ETA, 5 minutes." The agent's face twisted. "Get her in the truck. Now." They dragged her to her feet, shoved her toward the SUV. Maya looked back at the safe house, saw the bathroom window slide open, saw 4 women drop into the alley, saw them disappear into the darkness. "Run," she thought. "Run and don't stop." Then the door slammed shut, and everything went black. 12 hours later, Maya sat in a concrete room. No windows. 1 door. A metal table bolted to the floor. They'd taken her phone, her watch, her dignity, but they hadn't taken her hope. The door opened. A man walked in. Gray suit, gray hair, gray eyes that had seen too much and cared too little. General Marcus Webb. He sat down across from her, folded his hands on the table. "You've caused me a great deal of trouble, petty officer." "Good." That live stream has been viewed 14 million times. Every news outlet in the country is running stories about military sexual assault. The Secretary of Defense is demanding answers. My wife is demanding a divorce. He smiled thinly. Quite an accomplishment for a 22-year-old girl. "I'm not a girl." "No, I suppose you're not." He leaned forward. "But you are alone, in a black site with no legal representation, and no one knows you're here." "That's where you're wrong." "Is it?" "Elena Vance knows where I am. Rebecca Martinez knows where I am. Captain Morrison knows where I am. And in about 4 hours, the entire world is going to know where I am." Webb's smile faltered. "You're bluffing." "Am I?" Maya leaned back. "That live stream wasn't just footage of your goons kicking in a door. It was also a GPS timestamp, satellite imagery, a digital breadcrumb trail that leads directly to wherever you've hidden me." "That's impossible." "That's Elena. 30 years of building a network. 30 years of preparing for exactly this moment." Maya's voice hardened. "You thought you were hunting me, but I was never the prey, General. I was the bait." The door burst open. A young officer, pale and sweating. "Sir, we have a situation." "Not now." "Sir, it's urgent. The Washington Post just published. They're naming you directly. The Secretary of Defense is on line 1, and there are FBI agents at the gate." Webb's face went white. "FBI?" "Federal investigation, sir. Sexual assault. Conspiracy. Witness intimidation." The officer swallowed hard. "They have a warrant." Maya watched the color drain from Webb's face, watched the power crumble, watched 30 years of crimes finally catch up to him. "You should have let it go, General." He looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time she saw fear in his eyes. "Who are you?" "I'm Maya Raines, daughter of Sergeant First Class Carmen Raines, granddaughter of Chief Petty Officer Thomas Raines. And I'm the woman who's going to make sure you never hurt anyone ever again." The door opened wider. 2 FBI agents stepped in. "General Marcus Webb, you're under arrest." They cuffed him right there, at the table, in front of her. He didn't speak, didn't fight, just stared at Maya as they led him away. The last thing she saw was his eyes. Empty, broken, defeated. Then the door closed and she was alone. But not for long. Elena Vance appeared in the doorway. Beside her, Monica Torres, Dana Williams, Sarah Chen, Lisa Monroe. 5 women, 5 survivors, 5 witnesses who had refused to stay silent. Elena stepped forward, took Maya's hands in hers. "It's over." Maya shook her head, tears streaming now, tears she'd been holding back for 17 years. "It's not over. It's just beginning." Elena smiled. "I know, and that's exactly how it should be." The FBI processing center smelled like stale coffee and fluorescent desperation. Maya sat in a plastic chair, blanket wrapped around her shoulders, watching the chaos unfold through a glass partition. Agents everywhere, phones ringing, printers churning, the machinery of justice finally grinding into motion. Elena appeared with 2 cups of coffee, handed one to Maya, sat down beside her. "Webb's been transferred to federal custody. His lawyers already filed 6 motions to suppress evidence. All denied." "What about Derek?" "Arrested 3 hours ago at Camp Ironside. He tried to run. Got about half a mile before they caught him hiding in a drainage pipe." Elena's smile was grim. Fitting end for a rat Maya sipped her coffee. It was terrible. She didn't care. The other three? Marcus Webb Jr. is in custody. Jason Tate turned himself in voluntarily. Victor Hayes, Elena's face darkened. Victor ran, made it across the border into Mexico. But we have people looking. He won't stay hidden for long. And the Brotherhood? 43 arrests so far, 6 installations, 3 generals, 9 colonels, 21 officers of various ranks. The rest are enlisted or civilian contractors. Elena leaned back. It's the biggest military sexual assault prosecution in history, and it's just the beginning. Maya closed her eyes. Let that sink in. 43 predators, decades of crimes, hundreds of victims. And it had started with 13 seconds in a warehouse. What happens now? Now? Elena stood. Now you testify. The Senate Armed Services Committee hearing room was packed. Senators, staffers, journalists. Cameras pointed at every angle. The kind of attention Maya had spent her entire career avoiding. She sat at the witness table, alone, microphone in front of her. Senator Patricia Webb's chair was empty. She'd recused herself 3 days ago when the FBI raided her husband's office. Word was she'd filed for divorce. Word was she'd known about Derek for years. Word was a lot of things. Petty Officer Raines, the committee chairman, Senator Morrison, no relation to Captain Morrison, leaned forward. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the extraordinary courage it took for you to come forward. This committee and this country owes you a debt of gratitude. Thank you, sir, but I'm not here for gratitude. Then why are you here? Maya looked at the cameras, thought about all the women watching. All the women who'd been told their stories didn't matter. I'm here because 17 years ago, my mother sat in a room like this. She told her story. She named her attackers. And she was called a liar. Silence. The room held its breath. She was told she misunderstood the situation, that she was seeking attention, that her word wasn't enough. Maya's voice didn't waver. She spent the next decade watching those men get promoted while she was shuffled from base to base, her career destroyed, her reputation shattered, her spirit broken. Petty Officer, I'm not finished. Maya's eyes met the chairman's. My mother survived, barely, but thousands of others didn't. Women who reported and were ignored. Women who stayed silent because they knew no one would believe them. Women who left the military they loved because the military didn't love them back. She pulled out a folded piece of paper. I have a list. 73 names. Women who came forward